Hey y'all, how you doing? It's your girl Emma D here, thinking thoughts about things. So today let's think thoughts about the concept of like logic versus emotion. Because these are the two ways like we act, right? And if we were being fair, like emotional thinking patterns are more ascribed to women, whereas like more logically inclined thinking patterns are ascribed to men. And I consider myself a decent balance between the two, so I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here because I kind of see this all over the place right now. People are acting out of feeling more than ever, and it's confusing to a lot of individuals, and it's not logical per se. And here's the thing: is that emotion wins that battle. I'm going to talk you through why, so maybe you can understand some of the stuff you're feeling or going through and stuff that other people you see are going through, because you will be noticing more and more that people are now starting to viscerally need to act from their emotional bodies like ever before. And that's the thing, because emotion is significantly more powerful than logic. So I'm going to tell you a little story so we can think about this. So at our office, we had a man with Down syndrome that cleaned our offices for years until he passed away a few years ago. Some complications to some things. Yeah, he was fabulous, Johnny. Everyone loved Johnny. He was like amazing, wonderful, the sweetest man. Wanted to give everyone hugs. That was his thing. So he was in our office like 3 days a week, a couple hours, did all the cleaning. It was great. We got to visit Johnny. Everyone, yes, Johnny. Okay. So then we got a new assistant manager, I think, at some point over that department. It used the logical, he reduced the office layout significantly. Like, took a bunch of trash cans out and rearranged some things. Not big things, but mainly there were like two different offices that had extra trash cans in them. He decided we didn't need that, right? And when Johnny came next, he lost his mind. It was, how dare anybody, right? Like, how dare you move those trash cans? It destroyed him. His routine was wrong. It was wrong. It just, right? 100% an emotional thing going on with Johnny and the trash cans. Cool. So it goes to the person that made this decision. Well, yeah, that's not going to work. We're going to have to put him back. But he took the logical stance, and he argued his point. He didn't want the trash cans in there. It was extra work. It was extra bag liners. It's extra cost and expense. It didn't need to be there. It adds extra time to the cleaning task, and it's just more hassle than it's worth. All very logical, sound business decisions on his behalf. 100% rooted in logic and reason. Problem is, I don't care. I don't care, because Johnny's argument is that it's wrong. It feels wrong. This is the way it's supposed to be. That's what needs to happen for my life to continue the way it can. And yeah, there needed to be 3 trash cans in that room. That was his argument. It lost for all logic and reason, right? Because there didn't need to be, and the logical arguments were all correct. However, Johnny won. Made damn sure there would be 3 trash cans in that office until he was no longer with us, because and I understand where this seems like wrong on so many levels, right? But logic, although well and good, with most things being level, right? Because, okay, business side says it's going to be cheaper for me to just not buy those liners and not have that extra time and all that lovely stuff that the logical arguments put up. And emotional me says, I will put $500 on the table to not let him feel that way. Period, point blank. I understand what's going on here, and I will personally pay it out of my pocket if that's what we are doing, because this needs to just not happen in this level, right? So there's a few dynamics to that, because I'm saying with most things being equal, if we were discussing like 50 trash cans and a whole floor of offices, then we're talking a huge inconvenience, and the logical side would clearly kind of went out there, right? So I'm willing to say that there's the negotiating space we have to play between this whole masculine feminine balance of the emotional and the logical minds here as we navigate this new world of feeling things. Because make no mistake, that's why everything is like rising to the surface right now with like examining all the Hollywood stuff and examining what went on, like the Nickelodeon stuff and all the bad things that we've been doing. But this isn't new, and it's the spiral that rises up. It kind of, the flavor started pretty much with Weinstein when we were like socially forced to examine the joke of the casting couch, which my whole like life was thrown around. I was like, haha, the casting couch. We accepted as a society that like, yeah, no, you got to do bad stuff to like be famous, and you're at the mercy, haha, isn't it funny? Until it like really got examined on a deeper level, and our collective conscience rose to the point of being like maybe that wasn't something we wanted to openly accept in our society is how we choose the people that we see and ask youth to emulate, and what's really going on there. And then, you know, we had to examine that on the level of the children, like what's been going on here, the Nickelodeon and the People's Islands that people are doing stuff and things, and like what do we actually as a society have space for like this kind of shenanigans? And it seems like we've been winning, right? Because that's why it's getting more and more. Now all of the rap, the music industry is falling, and all of really most of Hollywood as a whole is falling because we're doing it right this time. We have finally collectively said, no, we're tired of this. We're not willing to sell everyone downriver for what, and we don't like get it anymore. It makes no sense collectively. So we're being forced to like see all of this stuff, which kind of gets us like right back to that emotion thing, because it seems that we ran on the logic forever and ever as a society, very grounded in the logic of like, but yes, you got to like be in the movies, that if you had to do something, haha, like, but you got your chance and a lot of money out of it. So we're like just none emotion, 100% logic over here, like you got something. So it was just, that's what happened, and for all people in all ways, right? And then we shifted, we understood, we started to collectively see maybe it's not 100% logic, and there is far more emotion tied to, but what is it that we really think people should do for opportunity to do things, and who are the people that are asking other people to do these things, and then what's the choice for some of these things? And like, I know that's a whole rabbit hole that we can go on, but it has gotten people very much so addressing like their feelings, what's society, what's the stuff, feel it, which could have people going very far in like one direction, and like I feel stuff, so I'm gonna do it, like maybe hurt other people, break their stuff, take it out in like really negative ways based on their feelings, because that's, I feel I can do things, and then we like hopefully we find our way back to like some logic that balances the two, because I mean it'll spiral till we find some balance, but ultimately we're gonna have to lean universally, we're gonna have to lean towards feeling, like not at all costs, and not there's the balance of things, but the balance is generally tipped towards the logic of feeling based on, you gotta like not be a shitty person, like I don't know, it's a very interesting thing, because to have a society that's really based on feeling, first you have to get everyone to the point of wanting to feel helpful towards each other, and like I think that's what this is, with like the examining the innocence and the collective consciousness around how we interact with the innocent things. It seems, I kind of think that we are actually looking at this like a bit more from a protective lens than ever before, which brings me hope, because that's how we do evolve, is like getting to the point of not looking at other things as what advantage can be taken of them, but how you can protect the virtue of whatever the thing is. And, so I think that's a real thing that's going on. And I think it's a necessary step in whatever kind of evolution we're doing here. But, the feelings are leading people to so many things. And the logic is also separating people into some very interesting camps. And like, I'm hoping we find the balance because, we've got good things that are potentially ahead of us. What this whole logic. I try and be so very logical, but I mean, as a woman, maybe I could lean a little extra towards emotion. I've kind of tried to learn how to calibrate to that, but ultimately I was a people pleaser my whole life, and I pretty much thought my entire existence was just based around the things that I told I was supposed to do socially, like being nice and being the bigger person, and not saying anything. Don't push it. Not really understanding and fully integrating the fact that that was all just confinement techniques to tell me other people got to abuse me, without that I was allowed to wear the discomfort for an entire room as long as they didn't have to wear their own discomfort. Like, that was totally acceptable. I'll take it, give it to me. I will hold everyone's discomfort here. Until I learned that was bullshit. So, like, there's leaning into the feelings, and then there's understanding what feelings it is that you're supposed to like lean into. Because anything that makes you feel like you're not doing right by yourself, that's unacceptable. People pleasing is such a crazy behavior because it like so well engineered you to forget who you are and what it is you're supposed to, like what you actually want for the sake of whatever everyone else wants, which is extra special if you have any kind of other things about you that make you a little bit different. Because then you're just kind of stuck here figuring out like, where the hell were the pleased people at? Because they all are angry and mad anyways, and like I'm over here just not even doing stuff that I want to do or feeling uncomfortable, feeling for the sake of making the collective maybe feel bad. I learned that that's all bullshit. So if any of you, anyone hearing this ever has any feelings of that and like just all the things I do for everyone else, and bending over backwards, or those feelings of like having too much on your plate or empty cup, or all of these metaphors that are very strong in that whole people-pleasing group of individuals out here. Just know that that's not the way any of this really works with the emotional gauges and stuff. Because a lot of people pleasers just turned off their emotional gauges in lieu of having to feel their own feelings, just make everyone else comfortable, and it's good. And the fact of the matter is, most of the time your own feelings are going to tell you the best thing to do is to like weigh all options and walk away with grace. Like, screw pleasing anyone. If any of the options lead you to ever feeling uncomfortable in any way, just nope right out of it, because that's not for you. The right thing to do will never make you feel bad if you're really running from the consciousness of trying to do good by everyone and not hurt anybody else. Like, your decisions won't ever involve you having to sacrifice yourself or hurt others if you run from a proper emotionally calibrated place. Like, the amount of time it takes to calibrate those kinds of emotions can be daunting, and like, that sucks. I don't know. I know this is a weird tangent over here. I'm not sure what my entire point is, except, thinking thoughts about like feeling stuff, because it's an interesting thing to come into your full understanding of like what is going on. Is like the word empath is used frequently, but I kind of feel like we're all empaths. My understanding of this is that like that's your most visceral nature, that if we were never ever given any words, you were a person without a language. You had thought, you were sentient. That's fact. The language, the natural language you would speak is empathy. It's a form of telepathy. It's what every animal uses within their own language to a certain extent. We're just That's our natural thing, is the feelers. But if no one taught you, like, when you feel everyone's feelers, you just want to, then you like overcompensate to try and make them all comfortable. That's the empty cup syndrome, or the like too much on the plate syndrome. And the fact of the matter is, put the damn plate down. Like, it's not yours. You don't. Just stop right now. All right, since we're doing anecdotes, I'll tell one other quick story, but on how I kind of broke a magic moment that let me break like a weird level of people pleasing. I held this whole ass plate for a long time that on it was the everything is my responsibility. I have to go to the store and buy the food and make the stuff and cook the stuff and clean the stuff and stuffy stuff and cook and clean and bloody blah. Oh, it's all my job. All the things. Big plate. Bullshit. So it was a couple of years ago. My husband had gotten over feeling ill, but we figured out after the fact, he apparently everything tasted salty for a while to him, but he chose the wrong day to say it to me. And like something, but he chose the right day. The universe gave me the opportunity to deal with some stuff, because I cooked a meal for him. It's all in the mentality. I cooked and make the things that he likes, the pork chops and the homemade mac and cheeses and some stuffing, and make all the pretty stuff. Okay. And I give to him. I present food as, here for you. I mix. And this man had the utter audacity to look at me and just say, it's salty, and keep eating. And I broke. Everything in me broke. That was the last day I ever cooked a meal for my husband. Ever. I was done. I've never cooked a meal for him since. Now, that doesn't mean I don't cook. I cook a lot. But I discovered something about cooking for, or doing anything for someone else. If you do something for someone else, then you have sacrificed something in order for them to gain something. You automatically saw it that way. I cook for me. I cook whatever I want. And if you want some, you can have some, and that's great. And like, we took a long time to come back, because I really did. I had a little bit of a, no, I'm done. I'm done with all of this. But it was, and like I said, later on we figured out, shit, there was some things going on with your tasters, and it was just the wrong day to be saying stuff. But it wasn't. It was the right day, because I needed to break that. And I am a much better cook now, honestly, just because anything you don't do for someone's, when you can only take care of other people by taking care of yourself. It's a fact. You can't, the empty cup will always be empty if you don't learn how to fill it, and then learn who you're willing to share it with, because you are an abundance of all things. That's just fact. So you can't be empty of what you create within you. The thing is, you can pour into people that don't know how to create for themselves. And that doesn't mean bad people, where like there's, we all got to learn how to navigate this life. But first and foremost, it's all like the filling of the cup thing, and the feeling your emotions, and the acting from a place of like, no, that's not what I want. And I get that it would make you happy or comfortable or whatever, moving through those particular things that keep us all like stuck in weird emotional spaces. And I know that astrologically, that's just has been in the stars for people to be so much in just the visceral feeling. And I think a lot of that's coming online for people. So I just figured I would say something about that, because yeah, why not? You guys want to talk about that more? I don't know. Like, you want to talk about your feelings? No, really. Like, because there is this whole calibration thing going on, and how people, like, literally, we're now talking about feelings as the network within us. Ooh, and that's a video we're going to do. We are going to talk about what they just reclassified the fascial network as in the body, and that's now an organ. Ooh, that's fun. Actually, we're gonna put that on a video. So thinking thoughts about the feelings. And do you guys want to like talk about the actual biology of where our feelings apparently live? Because they've found it and classified it, and it's pretty cool. So we could talk about that, or not. But sending love, feel your feelings, know they're important, and I love you, and we'll talk soon. Emma D out.